Hey everybody, how you doing? Sorry, it's been a while since I've sat down in front of the camera, but I'm suffering from a head cold, and I'm no different than any other man on the planet. I've got a cold, which means I'm near death. Hey, look, it is what it is. Okay, I got a cold. All right, I know what it is for women to go through giving birth. Anyhow, get me started. So, hey, last we left off, I'm still in Daniel. I still am. And last we left off, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had just strolled out of the furnace, not even smelling like smoke. And Nebuchadnezzar, he almost gets it, but he doesn't really get it all the way. He's praising their God. Ironically, it's funny because right after praising their God, he issues the decree that anybody who doesn't worship their God is going to be cut to pieces and killed and murdered in some terrible way. If nothing else, the dude is, I don't know, man. The dude stays true to form. So anyway, now we're in Daniel 4. So Daniel 4, Nebuchadnezzar has another dream, right? And now remember, we've gone through the book of Daniel. This all started out with the Daniel and the boys not eating the food. God delivered them, miracle number 1, right? Then what happens is Nebuchadnezzar has a dream, calls in his magicians. They can't interpret the dream. Daniel does the whole thing about the statue and all of that, and he still kind of just obviously don't get it. Then the boys wander in and out of the furnace unscathed. So now he's having another dream. And what do you think he does? So here's this dude. He's having a dream, okay, and obviously he wakes up in the morning. Who do you think he calls? Who do you think he calls? You know who he calls? He calls his magicians and his enchanters again to interpret the dream. I'm telling you, man, the dude's a little slow on the learning curve. I've said that once already. So, of course, they can't interpret the dream. He finally gets a hold of Daniel. And it's important to think about this for a second. We say Daniel. I'm saying Daniel. We say Daniel. When he became captive under Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar renamed Daniel Belteshazzar. Yeah, let's say it that way, Belteshazzar. That's what he renamed him. Gave him a new name, Belteshazzar. Belteshazzar actually was the name of one of Nebuchadnezzar's gods. Every time he calls him Belteshazzar, he's really fronting off, the true God. So keep that in mind. So he calls Daniel, tells him about the dream. It's a dream of a big tree. It's got, giant branches. It branches out. Everyone feeds from it. The birds nest in it. The fruit is great, offers shade. It's taking care of everything. I mean, it's the tree, right? But the tree gets cut down. The tree dies, and it's just the tree. It dies. It gets cut down and it dies, and there ain't no more tree. So he can't figure out what this dream is all about. So anyway, here comes Daniel. So Daniel interprets the dream for him, and Daniel reluctantly has to tell him that, hey, King, the tree is you. Your kingdom has grown so big and so vast, and you've spread out, and you're taking care of everybody, and everybody, feeds from your kingdom and rests in your kingdom, and the Lord has blessed you with all this, but you're about to be gone, okay? Quite honestly, because you ain't getting it, right? And you're going to end up being cast out of your own kingdom. You're going to end up living like wildlife. You're going to live like a cow or whatever out in the wilderness. You're going to live under the dew and eat the grass. I mean, you're going to just be really gone. And of course, this bothers him and affects him for about a year. And about a year into this, right, he's wandering around on the upstairs patio of his palace with one of his buddies, and he's checking out the kingdom, and he's looking out over his vast kingdom with his buddy, man, and there he goes. He opens his mouth. He starts running his jibs about, look at my kingdom that I created. Look at my vast, look at all this. I did this. I did this. I. And at that very moment, boom, gone. the Lord speaks to him. That's it, right from heaven. You're done. You're now out. And sure enough, he's out, man. He's out in the grass, and he's out of the kingdom, and out there eating the grass like a cow, and the whole 9 yards, exactly like Daniel said it was going to happen, man. Because the Lord is trying to get this dude's attention, and he ain't got it yet. You would think. You would think that after all those miracles and seeing him, that he would have got it. I'd like to say that I'd like to sit back and go, I would have got it. You would have got it. We'd have got it, right? But would we? I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, think about some of the things we see in our own lives and some of the stuff we go through, and then we just we don't get it, or we get it for a short time. We praise God and we thank God for how He delivered us from something, or how He's delivered a friend, or how He's done this, or how He's done that. And then right away, we go right back to forgetting about what God's done for us. I mean, let's not forget the fact that the reason that Daniel and everybody is there in Babylon right now is because it's 70 years of captivity that the Lord has given the nation of Israel over to the Babylonians and King Nebuchadnezzar, because they themselves couldn't get it. I mean, these are the same people who got led out of Egypt by Moses and got the 10 Commandments. You just watch the plagues, the parting of the Red Sea, Pharaoh's army, the whole schmeal. You'd think, you'd think you'd kind of be in check. They weren't even in check. That's how they ended up in this position to begin with. So I guess I can't really blame Nebuchadnezzar too much. I know I like to laugh about the situation he's in, because it just seems to me like it's kind of comical that the guy don't get it. But hey, you know what I mean? They didn't get it, or they wouldn't have been there. And the Lord's using them to get His attention, and He's about to get His attention. So I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to keep everybody. It's a cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger. King Nebuchadnezzar's crawled around on his hands and feet out in the field eating some grass, and we're gonna leave it at that. And we'll pick back up next time I see you guys, probably tomorrow, or if not Monday, because tomorrow's church. Love you all. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.